Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everybody. Okay, approval of the agenda. I was wondering, since Joe is here, could we maybe just move him up like right after C so he could? Is Brian gonna be here?
He said not till 7:30.
Oh, okay.
Move him anywhere you want, sir.
Well, I mean, Joe could get this done. I mean, do you think there's anything that you and Brian would have to talk between you at tonight?
It might be good if it overlapped a little bit.
Okay.
But really what I'm gonna go through is where we're at with the projects and the estimates that are on the agenda, so that one required Brian's attention.
Well, we'll leave it where it is then.
Sounds good.
Somebody make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Somebody second? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carried. Approval of the minutes from last month. Any additions, corrections to those minutes? If not, somebody make a motion to approve them.
So move.
With a second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
What?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carried. Approval of the bill. Checks 18,236 to 18,277 and electronics is 567.32 to 567.52. And payroll of 500,119 to 500,113. Any questions on that? If not, somebody make a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Someone second? Seconded. All in favor? I oppose. That's good. Anybody in community comment?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to bring situation, with you guys that I'm having in regards to, my rental inspection. I got the application information from Steve back in May, and then on June 19th, I had my rental inspection through NBAC with Judd. And I still haven't received anything back from them. And calls have been placed, messages left, and I know I'm not the only landlord in town that hasn't received anything back yet. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I've left messages and the reason why this is kind of an issue for me is I have a situation with one of my tenants that I want my inspection to help deal with a problem that I'm having. And I have nothing to be able to show him.
That Judd, he is not around or does not
He's
respond?
around. I actually talked to him over the phone and he said, oh, I thought we did those. Did we forget about you guys? And that was back on, that was well over a month ago when I talked to him. Well over a month, probably 2 months ago.
He hasn't, I don't think they've been out and done anything, have they?
I haven't heard anything. Evidently, I'm supposed to get a copy of
Mhm.
the inspections, but I haven't heard.
They
Heard
did
anything.
my, two properties, the bank and the Sherman Street, and they did all the apartments over here. And they haven't received theirs either.
Really?
So I don't know what you guys would recommend I do from here, send a letter, or, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna do any good.
Well, I think the city should send a letter and,
I can reach out on Wednesday.
yeah,
I can call up
Yeah.
there and see, and I won't, I know last time I had a hard time getting a hold of him. I just called whoever answered the phone and I said, this is my situation. And then I got somebody, so. I will give them a call on
I appreciate
Wednesday.
that.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
all right, thank you.
Thank
Take care of
you.
that. Thank you.
You bet.
Yep. Sheriff's Department, 60 hours. Assist other law enforcement, paper theft, civil disturbance, suspicious person, and direct patrol. Any questions on that? Fire department had 8 calls, medical, pancake breakfast is October 27th from 9 till noon. Any questions on that? We're down to street department and race.
Oh, well, they're working on getting the fence wired up and ready to go, or the new gate wired up, down at the ponds, and then. I talked to Pat Chambers. Yeah, I think it was the end of last week, it must have been, just trying to get an idea of what our extension of the sewer main. To the south, and he said pretty much whenever we got everything lined up and ready to go, that they can. They don't have any projects left in the year that they're gonna get in the way of it, so they can get down here as soon as or almost as soon as we're ready, so.
And we have all the easements and everything then, right?
We've got them
Or-
to the residents or the tenants of the property owners.
I was thinking.
I did reach out
I was
to
thinking of North Street.
Donovan Companies last week. And I had to do, they wanted something changed in that easement. So I sent it back, had it changed, and they said they would sign it and get it back to me.
Okay,
So I'll reach out again tomorrow on to Wednesday,
all right.
find out where that's at. Because they just wanted the word, they wanted to change from, I think, Donovan Companies to Feral Gas, I guess. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, there was something in there that we had to change, so.
And does Chambers know we want that outlet for the locker plugged at that new main?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just got
Yeah.
a leach out there that could,
There's actually 2 spots, Mr. Mayor, the one that you just identified, and then also, I forget the name of the.
Gene Klein, huh?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, needs to get capped as
Yeah,
well, I mean, yeah, so it'll be 2 spots where they're digging up kind of the blanket they put down.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure we got that done.
Mhm. That's critical, otherwise, yeah, like you said, all that old clay pipe
Yep,
still.
still be taking water on.
Mhm.
Yep. Have you noticed since that project, of course, it's awful dry, that the water,
Honestly, we've been trying to get a hold of Corey at Quality Flow because the flow meter. We're pumping like 35,000 gallons a day from the well house. It's double that out at the pond, and I keep seeing the indication that there's reverse flow. So whether there's a bad check valve and the water keeps getting pumped and pumped and pumped and the total's off. So I can't give you for at least October and the last part of September, an accurate number for what's coming out to the ponds. And I don't know if Corey got a hold of you, but I texted him and he has not.
I can try calling back
That's
tomorrow.
really uncharacteristic of him. Usually he's really on top of things, so maybe he's out of commission or on vacation or something, but we'll get on that as soon as we can.
You said it's double?
It's not right though, because I mean, we're not pumping it at the well house, so where would it come from? There's been no rain.
all right, Race, any questions on the building permits?
I'll look through it. One was done prior to everything. in there. At least getting the city signed. Fine.
Anybody got any questions on the building permits?
Everything meet the setbacks?
Move to approve. Someone a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. I will abstain since one of them is mine. Anything else on Race? Alrighty. Brian and Joe.
I can give you a couple updates. So one thing that we have going on is a week from Thursday, we're gonna have an MPCA inspection. So it's our annual inspection. North End Pembroke, we're gonna get it on the same day. They're gonna start here at 9 o'clock on Thursday, the 24th. We'll finish up over in Pemberton after that's done, so no surprises. I'm not expecting anything. When she reviewed the last couple of years' data, she'll talk about our exceedance for phosphorus. Allows us, if we have a plan in place, which we do, I'll take her out, show her the new equipment that's running right now. So I don't expect anything really unexpected from the audit. All my ducks are in a row. Let's see. I already mentioned that the influent flow meter, we're trying to get them to come down and take a look at that. I've also been trying to get calibration records from them. They're supposed to be doing it every 6 months, and I don't think we've received a copy of that for about a year or so. Whether they just forgot.
Right, is that right at the lift station down there?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's a underground flow meter, electric flow meter or
Okay,
ultrasonic.
Got
And so, I'm trying to get a hold of him for that. The other project, we are transferring water now. We are adding chemical. I think he's gonna finish up on Tuesday and, it should be decent by the time they're done. I mean, I think he's gonna make it right.
yeah.
He had that plan with him on Friday, but he never put it on, so
Yeah,
apparently he had to skate out of here, but, it's been a process.
So when you're treating that now, do you wait until the whole pond is moved over before you check the phosphorus or?
No, I won't know until I do the discharge and
That's
then.
what I was wondering. You wait until then.
And so, yeah, it'll be interesting the first couple because the first discharge, if I get a number back that is super low, like 1 or 2 parts per million, I'll say, well, maybe I can decrease my chemical addition by, 5%, 10%, and then try it again the next time. Or if it didn't change much at all, then the next discharge I'll have to increase a little bit. So I really won't know until I get those numbers back, but I'm expecting good things.
You don't take and try to test it halfway through your transfer to see where you're at?
No, I don't have the ability to test it. I don't have the reagents set I've got the meter that could do it, but it's better just you have to take a sample to MVTL and have them test it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that project will be a wrap. The gate is done. Luke wired it. But the apprentice had an incident with the transformer inside there. They had to replace the transformer inside that unit because he hooked something up wrong and fried something in there. So they were apologetic and they're gonna make it right and they'll come back and get that fixed. We expect like next week or so the
They
gate will.
ordered the part today. So
Yeah, the gate will be working and everything, and that's gonna be nice for when we get chemical deliveries and stuff, so.
what did they give you, Brian? Did you get a remote for that or is it a
Both.
punch code?
Both,
Okay.
yeah, there'll be a keypad and there'll be a remote. There's 2 remotes, like garage door openers for
Okay.
vehicles. So, yeah, that'll be nice. It'll be nice, cause I forgot my keys when I went to South Bend today and I used the keypad to get in.
Who is gonna put the fence back in?
I think Ray's
I am.
gonna do
Alright.
that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of
I
waiting.
had some additional thoughts. As this project is getting near completion, one thing that was a concern of mine that now I don't think is such a big deal anymore. Is the eye wash situation. I asked the chemical delivery guy, what do? You're transferring chemicals all the time. Do you expect the people there to have it or whatever? And some companies, yeah, you have to have an eye wash station there within so many feet of where you're transferring, but he said typically little towns like ours don't. And he carries a kit in a cooler in his truck and he's got the squirt bottles that you get from County Safety. You rip the top off and you douse your face. So I said to Ray's, why don't we get a cooler and get some of those, put them in it? And if we're working on the pumps, we go to the city garage, get that and bring it with us. Or if we're transferring chemical, the chemical guy's in charge of that. I could just stand back. You don't have to be 10 feet away from the guy when he's doing it. So I think that's not as big an issue as we once thought it might be. And the second thing I've been thinking about is the building. So the reason for the building was security. The pumps are $4,900 a piece.
Yeah.
Right now, it wouldn't be that hard to steal one, but who knows what they are, and the city insurance would cover it if they got swiped. But, just saying, and the other thing was, our worry was, what if somebody's out there poking around and shoots an arrow or a gun and shoots our tank or something dumb like that, because they're always shooting up signs and stuff out in the country, or our sign has been shot before.
It still's gotta have a
So,
building around it.
whether it's a building or a fence, maybe a guy could do a fence around it with barbed wire on the, little things. Just a couple of options. It's up to you guys what you want to do, but I don't think it's a concern this fall yet to get that done. You can probably wait till spring and.
Probably won't make it anyway.
Exactly. It's too late in the fall now. So you got all winter to think about it, but for now, there is gonna be a lock on the cabinet. The guy's gonna come back and redo they put a door on there, but the screws are all on the outside. So really you can just take a screwdriver and unscrew it and take the door off now. So
I see.
did you see it? Okay. So he's gonna come back and put bolts in it, and like I say, it's been a real process out there. My patience was worn to a embarrassing minimum on Friday, to the point where I was ready to throw the guy in the pond. Just saying, there's been some frustration with the project. I've talked about it with him.
I'll touch on it.
He knows exactly where I'm coming from and what it's all about.
Well, the
And,
first doors were just ridiculous.
Oh,
They were,
I know,
they were opening up like this.
they're
So you
plexiglass.
had to have your head hold the door up while you were programming or whatever you had to do in there. It's like,
They
wow.
keep coming back and they keep trying, but every time it's a miss, you know.
yeah.
It's, in the end, we'll have a good product. I'll guarantee you it's gonna be good by the time we're done, but I think a big part of the problem came from when the Rubin Construction, and this was told to me by this guy, Rubin Construction, went to get a bid for the pumps and like chemical equipment from Vesco Sales, and Vesco's top of the line. I mean, everybody, they've got a great reputation, big company. Now, this guy out there on Friday told me that they were 3 times the price and he could do it so much cheaper, and this is what you get. A lot of frustration. So, the contractor decided to switch and go with this guy, to my understanding. And, this guy is not top notch in quality. He's fly by the seat of his pants and doesn't know what a level is for. That's enough. I don't need to say anymore, because they've listened to my tape, but
Yeah, some of that workmanship was not very, very good.
So will the treatment, will there be enough time before the discharge to drop the phosphorus, do you think? Or?
yeah,
It should
it's
be
pretty much instantaneous. When the phosphorus hits the water and the iron, it coagulates and drops it out. So you just,
Oh, good.
it's better to have a little bit of time with, like, yesterday was really windy, so the whole pond is just moving around and mixing. So, but where we're adding it, the pumps are just stirring that water and we're dropping it right in right there. So it's really thoroughly mixed.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Brian
Yeah.
deserves a lot of credit for that. That was his brainchild, that, and then vetting it with our environmental staff at Bolton and Bank. It's like the best case scenario for injecting chemicals, because you just get really good mixing happening right there, so. Rather than being out there with a pontoon, or, you know, we talked about those solar bee mixers or some of that, this really just uniformly applies it, so.
Yeah, I think it should be great.
You're still gonna discharge this fall yet, right?
Yes, I'm gonna wait till after November 1st, because then I don't have to test for coliform bacteria. So then usually that's the one that'll get you, you know, it's so variable. You could have geese on the pond and it'll give you a positive coliform.
Yeah.
And so if after November 1st, that doesn't apply because people aren't recreating in the water in the river. So I'll wait until after November 1st.
All right.
Did you have something to add?
Yeah, yep. My time?
You betcha, Joe.
Council, okay. I was just gonna give a quick breakdown of the 2 projects going on in town as construction's kind of winding down and winter's approaching. So I'll start with the phosphorus removal improvements out at the ponds there. So as Brian has said, there's been some challenges with maybe some of the craftsmanship and the progress out there. I think as Brian also noted, we're trending in the right direction, right? The system is up and operational. We've just had to maybe do a little bit more, be a little more hands-on and help people along the way than potentially anticipating. We anticipated looking back. You know, we solicited 3 quotes, we awarded to the low bidder, and this is a contractor that we've worked with on past projects successfully, doing wastewater treatment facility improvement. So, you know, I can't speak exactly why we had some hurdles, but we're still trending in the right direction. And like Brian said, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a successful project.
And I would add Bolton and Mencas helped me every step of the way. Whenever I had a complaint, they were right on it. So it's nothing to do with these guys.
So we're working together and we're gonna get to where we wanna go. That's the main thing there. So you see a pay estimate was processed via DocuSign, with Sue there. We're still withholding about 10 grand on that project. So there's still plenty of withholdings to ensure that we have money that we need to get the product we want it to be in the end. Any questions on the phosphorus treatment project?
Would, Brian said we could maybe get by without a building, but I mean, in reality, he brings up a couple good points. It could be shot at, my thought are, we still should have a building around that down there, Because what the pumps, almost $5,000 a piece?
Yeah, $4,900 plus
Yeah.
tax.
I mean, somebody could go in there and just really wreck stuff if they wanted to.
Absolutely, they could. I'll say, we've had this conversation many times now with our environmental staff. There is the minimum requirement is a rain shield over the tank. So, you know, that could be as simple as 4 4x4s with a lean-to roof or something to protect it from snow. You could put some, I don't know, 1x6s, kind of like a fence, or just like I noted there. So that is sort of a minimum requirement just to keep snow and rain. And in terms of the building, Bolton Inc. has been somewhat hands-off on that in terms of you're welcome to construct. It's not 100% required. That's input I'll provide there.
Best thing about it is we got to treat the discharge.
Yeah.
And now we got until next spring to
You got some time.
get the building going,
Yes,
or next summer or whatever.
The left-hand ferric pump, the top fitting is, you can, so if
There
you're out
is a
there
leak.
Tuesday,
okay,
you'll see it. It's got a couple little drips. They're not a lot.
Side.
We ran that one for maybe 15, 20 minutes and then turned it off.
when you're looking at the cabinet,
Yeah, left-hand pump top fitting.
sounds good.
So have you noticed the level on the tank gone down already?
Yeah, yeah, it went
Okay.
down. I think it's gonna take about 300 gallons to do the entire transfer.
And how many gallons do you think in the lagoon?
I think that's a thing. Oh, the lagoon?
Yeah.
How many gallons have I sent over?
What will you transfer from one to the
6
other?
million gallons,
6 million.
5.7, 5.8,
Okay,
but, the tank has a level transmitter on it, and it's as good as the original one that those guys had suggested was just kind of a float thing, so you can see the float go up and down, and you could see what was in the tank. And that was getting hard to obtain, I guess the guy couldn't get one quick enough, and, so they offered an electronic, wireless, flow sensor or a level sensor. But that's what it is a level sensor, so, which is fine. It's, today it was reading 0.82% full, 0.82, so a little more than 3/4 full. So you kind of have to calculate in your mind, if it's a 1,000-gallon tank, you can back calculate. So when I order chemical, but my impression was that it was gonna read out in gallons. And that's not possible with the one that he put on there. I read the book, so fine, it's good. It's as good as what you guys expect in the first place, so,
The nice thing about a 1,000-gallon tank, right, is it,
yeah,
you always just add a 0.82%,
yeah.
820 gallons,
Yeah.
39%.
Yeah.
So that's,
So
that's
it's,
good.
it's fine.
and what's in there will not freeze this winter?
No,
Really?
There was a recommendation from the
Yeah.
pump manufacturer, right, Brian, to
Yeah.
get that inside hose out of the pump.
Probably have to drain them
Oh,
pumps in
oh,
there.
yeah, no, he was talking about so the pump is a peristaltic pump. It's got 4 wheels that go around a circle and it squeezes the water through like a straw, you know, it spins. And the peristaltic pump, if this day you did a discharge in September and you weren't gonna use it again until April of the following year, those wheels will sit there on that same spot for 6 months and can cause a dent in there. So he suggested if it's not too difficult to pop that out over the winter, then pop it back in the spring. So take a look at that. Just to help make it last longer.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's like rubber little paddles in there, isn't it?
no, it's like wheels.
Oh, is it?
Rollers that just go around and around and the tubing is squished as the roller comes
Okay.
through. It's really, those are Cadillac pumps.
Like a blood.
That's
pump.
I'm so
Pumps have been
pleased.
2
Yeah,
thumbs up, right?
Yeah, those are-
Some of the other
yeah,
consoles.
I'm amazed at how good quality they are. So LMI is a good brand and the model that they got is it'll last a lifetime. So,
Perfect.
Okay, I'll hop into the Halliday Street Backyard Sanitary Sewer Project. Construction is complete. The pipe's in the ground, the grading's been done, the topsoil's down. You've driven by there, the grass isn't growing yet. That's always a challenge on these construction projects, getting grass to grow. It's just a challenge in every city across, you know, that I work in or that we work in as a company. So basically where we're at with that one is we paid the contractor for their work completed to date, and we've given the money that will hang on to until grass is 70% established.
I did tell Race today, though, that one manhole that's in that right of way, like what goes off the street. it's exposed, you know, so much and then farther on the other side. That he should build the dirt up around it, you know, or put a pole there. Because over the years, the city has pushed snow back in there. And you wouldn't wanna hit that in the middle of January.
Okay,
So, but I mean, really, there's dirt down there where we could build it up ourselves, you know, and.
I did have them, thanks for bringing that up, Mr. Mayor. I did have them leave those sanitary manholes up just a little bit, cause I really didn't want water getting in the castings
Yeah.
there, but maybe it's a little excessively high.
I think on the east side of it, it's probably about
Okay.
5, 6 inches, I think.
Okay,
And, you know,
well, I think for this fall, for sure, mark it with a post and then maybe look
Yeah.
at spring and some dirt. So,
cause I know over the years, there's been snow pushed in there. I pushed snow in there one year, so.
okay. Okay, that's all I have on those two projects.
When you ran that service to them houses, were we ever able to go up there with Jetter Cleaner or somebody and televise if them houses all had, perimeter drains?
I don't think, I'd have to quiz Lyle Femright, the on-site inspector on that, how much investigation they did. I don't think they were able to get all the way up to the homes because they were such long runs to the west there. But let me talk to Lyle and see what his thoughts were on that.
How about the flow now, you know, there was always clear water coming from that
Mhm.
north. Have you looked in there? Is there, I was wondering if
The
there,
rain for the race, yeah.
if there's still water coming in there clear like that or not?
That'd be a good thing if I were in your shoes race and you had nothing else going on in the world and it started raining, it'd be nice to look kind of right when it starts raining and then again after 15 minutes, after 30 minutes, after an hour. To kind of have a feel for how quickly it starts getting more water in that pipe.
And the ground's gonna take a lot of water now again.
Yeah, now, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think the important thing is we keep trying, if the city's able to successfully do that 200-foot extension to the south and separate those services, I think that could be a big win for the I&I reduction too, so. You know, the city's trying and working in the right direction. Hopefully we start to see results, you know, I'm of the opinion it's a bit of a death by 1,000 leaks, or if you keep chipping away at it, you should keep seeing improvements.
Yep. All right, well, thanks, Joe.
Do we ever get the structure out by the pond that was leaking so
Yep.
badly? Did that get done?
Yep, that got
Good,
done,
okay, good.
like 2-3 weeks ago.
They kind of dig around the outside of it and.
Yeah, they injected.
Good.
I can't remember what it was called, but they injected it in there and.
Good.
That's all sealed up.
If it gets high enough, it'll still come out the lid. But it won't come out that hole in the side.
Yeah, they plugged
Right.
that little, remember there's a little hole up top, they plugged that too. So,
All right, sounds good, thanks.
Yeah.
Joe. Since we're on sewer and I was looking at the check register, like the Chambers one, that all comes out of the sewer fund, right? Chambers
Yeah.
check here.
Yeah.
That's,
And then there's a Loop Electric down here, but I don't have any figures. We put it all towards the sewer fund, right? Or it'll come out of that fund, right? Because that's what he wired down there, obviously.
Mhm.
And then equipment,
Maintenance?
oh,
maintenance.
yeah, install pump and supply, that's. I was just wondering, you know, make sure Sue knows that this all comes out of
Mhm.
sewer fund, you know? And then on your sewer fund, you got any money left? Could be a little hard on it.
There's some left yet. I don't have those reports.
Yeah,
You guys all have those, but
Well. there is one left over, it's still a negative balance again, right?
right, well, it shouldn't be though, because we put both of those
Yeah,
CDs in there,
it should be all right, but
so we should be all right.
and then this Ward Brothers construction, they fixed, dug up and replaced a water shut off on Holiday. That comes out of the.
That's the
fund.
water. That should be a 601. If you look at the code,
Okay, yep,
the 601 is water, 602 is sewer.
okay, all right, now I know.
There you go.
I was gonna ask you tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know after Tuesday, all that.
Yeah. Give you a ring in the morning, so I'll make sure I'm looking.
That was the only ones I had, just to make sure we're getting that all in the right spot.
You know.
Okay.
So,
And usually if I have a question, I'll ask Grace what they were.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on your daughter. I just read that in there.
Yeah, thank you.
sleepless nights,
I know, I'm going home to stay away. Yeah, all right, thank you all.
yeah. Okay, down to unfinished business, resolution 24-16, increase utility rates. Any questions on that at all then, or is that all good to go?
I just looked at this, the resolution, since the resolution increasing utility rates and not adjusting, so I will correct that.
I found the 17 one, but I can't find the 16 one.
Right next to the 17.
I know it, I figured that, but. I might have tore it all apart. There we go, thank you. Um. So we're gonna start this
January 1, right?
January 1, Yep, that's on 17, right?
16.
16.
16.
2024-16 is increasing the rates effective January 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this other one, 17, is changing the monthly billing,
It's
okay,
changing
there,
the billing
all right.
February 1st.
Okay. All right, anybody got any questions? If not, somebody make a motion to pass resolution 2024-16 and 17 on the same one?
Just do 16
One.
first.
16,
I'll make the motion.
someone to second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Okay, now resolution 24 or 2024-17. Somebody make a motion to approve that one?
Is that okay if we started February 1st? I know we really never really, we talked about it very briefly. We never actually sat down and decided. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, you're the one that's got to get it all programmed, right?
Well, right, and Race and I had talked about, maybe doing it in increments, doing down to 2 months. That's just a lot of extra changing in Banyan.
Right.
So I just picked February 1st. I thought, well, then, I don't know.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to give them extra amount of time to pay their bill.
Yeah.
And right now, we're not real good. I'm not real good at sending out and charging penalties. Because I don't know how Banyan works. Sometimes that person will get a penalty, sometimes that person doesn't. So I'm not sure what's not jiving in the system. And I've worked with Heidi on that, but she also told me that once we go to monthly billing, a lot of this will change because we won't have budget billing anymore. There will be no budget billing.
Right.
Because you're getting a bill every month. The expectation is to pay that bill by the due date.
Yeah.
From what when I've reached out to other cities, a lot of them that are doing it that way, they bill out on the 1st, they're due on the 20th. Or the 15th, they give them like an extra 5 days and then they charge that penalty. Now, we're not gonna do it that. I mean, at first, it would be nice to get to that eventually, but
so the city do we have the ability to pull it out of checking accounts automatically if people want to set it up?
people can set it up through PSN. And then they can, I know we do have some that are auto paid. Then that's all through that billing software or through the PSN. I don't know if I would like to, eventually I'd like to be able to have some time to check into a different one because for me, if I use my debit card, it charges me $1.25. Now it can use somebody else's debit card and it'll charge them $7. I don't know what the difference is there and I don't know why.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
But and maybe it's because it's a Visa or MasterCard or something, but I've had people say, I'm using my debit card. Why is it charging me this much?
But we don't have the ability just to go directly to somebody's checking
No,
account. and
No,
pull
they
it.
have to go through a billing software or they have to go through a payment processing
Yeah,
service.
and so there, you have another fee.
And that's
there.
where their fees are, which is fine if it's, like I said, $1.10, I think, or $1.25, whatever. But when it charges up, and also I think it depends on how much money they owe too, but
So what would happen if, just say, for instance, somebody wants to write a check out for $500 and the city holds that?
no, city's not holding checks.
Or I mean, has it on
I'll
account.
I will deposit $500 into their account and they're gonna have a credit
Yeah,
until that credit gets eaten.
that's what I was wondering.
Yes, yep, we can
'Cause-
definitely do that.
Okay, because myself, I don't want to write a check every month. You know?
You know, you could also just go online and pay it with your credit card. Or your debit card,
Pay stuff.
Why don't you
dumb
just pay a
credit
year in
cards.
advance?
or just, you know, write a check for $5,000 and we can just put it in there and call it a day.
There we go.
Hopefully that works for you.
All right, we'll do that then.
And we also, I'm out of the postcards. So unless council's gonna really wants to do the postcards, I'd rather just go to the regular sheet of paper.
Me
I did the math and it's really not a big difference, but a lot of people they get lost.
Yeah.
And I don't know
I
if it's
agree.
always been an issue, but there's some times where I'll have
The
people
sheet or the postcard?
with the postcard.
It's lost.
And I know I've had some that they pay religiously all the time, and then I'm calling them going. Or they get a past due notice and they didn't get that either, and it's like, I know they're paying their bills, so.
Yeah, I got this most recent one pretty quick, but the one I got before was, I didn't get that till like 5 days before it was due. Obviously, I mean, I knew it to pay it already, but
The water bill?
yeah, the postcard didn't show up until like
Yeah,
5 days before. it was
So,
due.
yeah, some of them show up right away,
I'm fine with picking.
so, and I don't think we need to make a motion, because I don't think that was ever into any motion or ordinance that you guys are doing it through the postcards. I still have past due postcards, so I'll send those out that way, just because I have almost 2 boxes of them.
No, I agree. I think they should be in an envelope.
And then it's bigger, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and it's more,
Mhm.
professional.
yeah, it looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not, like I said, I did the math, we're not saving.
Yeah.
We're saving
Yeah.
a couple $100. 200
It's
bucks,
not that big a deal.
yeah. So,
I will say one thing about the postcard was laying on my table and my grandson from Mapleton was over and he picks it up and he looks at it, he goes, wow, that's about 1 month for me.
mhm.
My quarter. My quarter was about 1 month for me in Mapleton.
In Mapleton.
It's a family of 4,
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah,
well,
so,
I mean, you know. With the water treatment plant, you know, and trying to get money from the state, do we have to progressively
yeah.
go up? Maybe next spring, the first quarter and.
Well, this here, one
This-
that we just did will help with that much, maybe at the end of next year.
End of next year, okay, that's what I was wondering if we had
Look at
to,
it again.
okay. If it had to be the half or if it's 3/4, okay.
It really all depends on how that all works out up there, you know. We just kind of took a grab here out of the sky and, well, it's gonna cost us this much a year, you know, amortize that out over 5 years. You know, we just kind of did that.
Is our contingency fees higher or lower than Mapleton's?
Oh, I don't know how they're put together. It was.
Do
just
they
a
pay
total
monthly?
amount.
They pay monthly
I think they pay quarterly.
or quarterly?
I think, I'm not sure about that.
Do we have any past due ones yet, or is that?
I've got everybody paid up, because we sent out disconnects and Race had to disconnect one.
And
And then that one was paid, and now we are completely caught up.
Wow.
I wonder if people will be able to keep up better now, monthly.
Well, and the whole idea is that, they'll be able to keep up better, and then we won't have these $1,500.
We don't have-
Water bills,
Yeah, or $10,000 sitting in the office that we can't collect.
right,
Yeah,
yep, so hopefully that will help that a lot.
yeah,
That's the second time in 30 years.
yeah, that they're all paid up.
But they're all paid up, really.
Okay,
So you need
Alright.
to make a resolution you need to,
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-17.
Someone a second? Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, ordinance updates.
so in your packet, I gave you the information I got from Chris regarding the ordinances that he thought, because last time we met, you asked me to get together some stuff and send them to Chris to review for the ordinances, and so I contacted him and he put together that memorandum about the updates and which ones council wants to update how they should be, or how he suggested they be updated. So I don't know if that's something you want to just take under advisement and just have a meeting to just discuss that, or how you want to go about that.
I think it would be better to have a separate meeting to
Mhm.
have a discussion. And sometime maybe before the end of the year or the beginning of the year, I don't know if it's that impressing that we do it right away. But, because some of the stuff I read through and I'm still confused on what he's saying for a few of them.
So would it be beneficial to have him? No, okay,
Not in my opinion.
okay. Well, I just don't know if there's other, I mean, if there's questions you know, as far as like the language or something, or,
There's no, I mean, it's here in writing. I don't wanna ask him
Okay.
anymore, cause he'll change what he's got here, he'll
Correct.
say something different.
yep,
I mean, it talks about planning commission. We really don't even have one. We are the planning commission.
Well, it's still in our ordinance, but I mean, we've never had people that wanna be on it.
Yeah, well, we did for a while there.
Well, there was years and years and
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. Now there's,
Yeah,
yeah,
there hasn't been for so long that,
right.
you know. It would be nice if you could get people that would want to,
Yep.
do that.
Cause then it don't all fall on us because they could have some of this all hashed out before it ever got to. city
Yeah.
council.
But at the same time, that's just one more step that people gotta go through and they wanna get something done and it's kind of a pain too, so.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Good thing, kind of a good thing.
Well, I think John's got a good idea to have a separate meeting on this sometime, whether it has to be before the end of this year or beginning of
Before
next.
the end of the year, probably, huh?
I would think so, maybe, yeah, it's, yeah,
We've got one, let's see.
next Monday then.
Yes,
Need to talk about
21st.
that. Sometime in November.
Would we ever come in early at our regular November meeting and discuss it, or just get too long, or?
I won't be here early, because I'm coming home from Florida that day,
on the twelfth,
the 11th.
okay, because our meeting is on the twelfth next month, because that's Veterans Day.
Oh.
We can't have a meeting, so we'll meet November twelfth, which
oh,
is a
okay.
Tuesday.
Well, that changes everything.
Tonight.
I had that conversation last year, and because we trade, this isn't. We
All right.
traded Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving for this day. So we can meet.
So, well, we could do that then.
Would an hour be enough, you think? Probably, I would hope.
I would sure think so. I mean,
An hour so meet at 6 on
Meet at
the
6.
12th.
I mean, that way, everybody's gonna be here anyway.
Right.
Get it done that night, so you don't have to collect it and come another night.
Yeah. Well, now to the end of the year is gonna fly by anyway, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I wouldn't decide.
What time?
6.
6 P.M.
The motion. You already do that.
No,
Second,
motion been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carried. Okay, anything else under unfinished?
The personnel policy. In your packets, there were just the pages that had the updates
Mhm.
that COG was working on for us. Because you approved the first one with those changes. So these are the changes from the other one. That's
We'll be-
read.
Looking at that same night, right? Or
Well, you can also look at that at the personnel meeting.
next week, yeah.
Personnel meeting next week.
Yeah, it's the, yeah, 3:30.
3:30.
Well, I'm fine with the changes, because this will then update our personnel policy for as with the changes. Correct. Yes. I'm fine with them. Because basically all we did is change the training period
You changed the PTO.
and the PTO for a new employee. And no, payout of PTO during the probationary period if they leave. I mean, that's the basic changes, right?
So if everybody has read these and are okay with them, we could approve it tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm okay with it too.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with it. Somebody want to make a motion then to approve it?
Make a motion to approve the changes for the personnel policy.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. New business?
I guess maybe as long as we're kind of in this area as a result of our mediation meeting. Julie, our attorney there, is a little bit concerned about us all meeting in a closed personnel committee meeting. As that can be viewed as having a closed meeting and it's not recorded. That's not supposed to be, doesn't have to be recorded. So somebody could accuse you of dealing other business and no one would know.
Right.
So it's strictly gotta be
So it should
on
be, well, that, but I mean, even with that though, I mean, I think what her worry is that it could be viewed as a closed meeting where no one, business is discussed other than personnel. And, you know, somebody could call us on that. Or something, you know,
what's her remedy to it.
go back to 3 people, 2 or 3 people.
That's a zone, yeah.
She said that, and why are you meeting? Well, we explained why this came about and what we had to do. And this is what's okay, but she was a little worried, or not worried, but concerned that we not meet as a whole council like that in a closed meeting. Now, if every personnel committee meeting is open to the public, then it isn't a problem. But you can't have an open personnel meeting if you're having to deal with personnel
Performance. wouldn't it be?
performance, yeah.
But by law, you can't record that, so you can prove that you were only on that subject?
I think so. I think that's what it comes down to.
You can't or you could?
I think you cannot.
Cannot, okay, because that would be a permanent record.
Yeah.
Obviously, it could be recorded if, obviously, if we're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, a personnel committee meeting, it can be open. But it isn't guaranteed that it's open, so. I think that's where she's coming from, is that. It's truly up to the employee, whether it's open or closed. And no one else. But. It could get you in trouble, you know, even if the employee closes it. You know, who's to say that something else couldn't be discussed and that gets out and then.
Yeah.
You know, right, John?
Yes,
That's,
I think it's a good idea to go back to 2 people,
I do too.
because then
It can't be
Can't be
3 either,
considered.
can it? It's gotta be 2, right?
Correct.
I think 2 would be better
Yeah.
for that.
Because 3 could make a decision.
Yeah.
and two can't.
Correct, that's
So-
correct.
So then the personnel committee would have to report back to the council again, like,
I think it used to be.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Just say two people are on there, they discussed with two employees, but they wanted to talk to the full council about some issues. Then would you close the regular council meeting to discuss those issues that the personnel people are bringing to the rest of the council? You know, say there was an issue with employee and the two council persons on the committee know it, but they want to share it with the rest of the council. Would that have to be a closed meeting then to share that part of it?
No, I think then you would put that in writing and distribute it out,
Okay.
you know,
All right,
it wouldn't be in the packet,
well,
you know, and I think that's how it is. I mean, I think we've gotten some,
Hmm?
It'd be a confidentiality.
Yeah, it can't be in the packet.
No.
right, right, and say, I think, I'll put this the best way I can. She made it pretty clear to us that we've gotten some poor information, some poor advice in the past.
Yeah, I'd say that's
I'll just leave it
accurate,
at that,
accurate statement.
and
from a lot of people, not just one.
would we ever try to improve that again? We tried,
We tried once.
I know that, and we weren't successful, but
She said, no.
We- I think now we know more than did, because when work with Ashley on that RFP, that was right at the beginning. I didn't know a lot
Yeah,
then either, but I think advertising was the main thing. I think we put it out in the paper and asked the league to put it out, but I don't think the league ever put it out on the site, so there's other ways to, you know, find some good ones and directly mail them to, you know,
can you do that directly, ma'am?
sure,
yeah.
Okay.
as long as it's a council decision from city, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she has reiterated that meet a couple times too, that
Yeah.
some of the stuff wasn't quite up to par.
Yeah, yeah, we've been led by not only legal advice, but you know, we've had people sitting out there that were supposed experts at personnel that would lead us the wrong way too. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
So
or up here too.
who was the personnel committee before we made it all? Was it you and I?
No, I don't think I was on the personnel committee.
That's when we choose them at the first of the year.
Yeah, it was you and,
Well, yes, see, Sarah and I were on there originally, you know, and that's when it always was,
yeah.
that's where it just went flat.
Right,
And that's when I said, well, we need more input from the rest of us.
and so anyway, that was you and Sarah,
Yep.
so it would be you and whoever, I guess Sarah's not on anymore, so would be just appoint somebody.
Yeah.
But it should be somebody that's gonna be around, you know, a term. I'm not gonna be around. This gal here's gonna be around, John's gonna be around, I'm not.
You're gonna be in Florida.
Him, some of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, should we be changing this before next week then?
I think so, don't you?
I think, my opinion,
That's what she
from
wanted.
what I was gathering, she didn't say that, but she just made it pretty clear that's, you know,
Yeah, I think,
little concerned.
yeah, it should be, I think the two. And
So what do we have to do did we have to do a resolution or anything to change it before to 5 people? Do we have to do anything to make it back to 2 people committees again, you know, because every year, beginning of the year is when we all.
because it was changed the whole committee before Sue, way before Sue, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Was it before Scott and I were on too?
Mhm.
yeah. I think
Because, yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
It was, I would assume it was just a motion to have the whole.
Because that's how your committees are set up Yeah, like. you
Yeah,
said,
by
in January,
motion.
They're all by motion, your committees are, so you could, I'm assuming you could just set your committee.
By motion to.
Change the committee.
I think probably in our ordinances, it's still a two-person committee.
I think so.
Probably.
I believe so.
So we probably are going to be okay, you know?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
Robert and John,
you good with that, John?
I'm okay with that, yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
So then again, somebody want to make a motion then to go back to a two-person personnel committee?
And who's the other one? Me and,
Robert.
Me?
oh, you?
This will only be till the end of the year then, right? Does it,
Oh, yeah.
we pick again next year? Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
good thing you brought that up, Tom, so that can take care of business ahead of
Yeah,
the cart once in a while. Somebody want to make a motion to that effect then? John and I will be on the personnel committee, so only John and I will be meeting next Monday night.
Right.
All right. Someone to second?
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. I oppose, motion carried. New business. How are we coming with the former Dakota Mart as far as legal?
I reached out, I haven't gotten a report from Chris lately, a couple months ago, you guys asked me. It hasn't, as far as I know, it hasn't moved from there. They were waiting, they hadn't filed bankruptcy on it yet. I think that's what he was kind of tentatively thinking they were gonna do with the Dakota Mart.
Is there,
Let it-
oh, really? Is there taxes against it now also? I just learned that today.
There's taxes, there's a water bill, or we do have one outstanding water bill.
Is the water shut off down there?
Yeah, that was done last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's always in the winter.
Huh?
It was in the winter because Excel came and turned off the power.
Oh, yeah, okay.
that's right. I remember you talking about that.
So they're gonna let, you know, there's quite a few owners involved there. Region 9, I believe, right?
Yeah,
And Southern Minnesota Initiative.
They don't own it though,
Well, they, I
do
think
they?
they had their name on it before the city of Good Thunder, right?
well, yeah, on the lien, they
On
had
the lien.
liens on it. Yeah, right, right.
So,
But if it goes back to the bank, I don't know how you can collect on it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody gets paid.
Cause if they file bankruptcy, I'm assuming it's,
I don't think there's any money there, so.
no, and then it just goes back to, I'm assuming the county,
Yeah, but it takes years.
right?
It will take-
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. It's just
6
gonna sit
years
there
or something.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it will.
Seven
Years.
Could be.
I think
It
it's
could be,
7.
yeah.
Well, the county gets it and then the state and something,
Yep.
and you revert it back to the city.
I mean, it
No, they
would
won't.
really
I
be-
don't think it'll go back to the city, does it? I don't think so.
Eventually it does,
No,
Eventually it could,
you know.
but that's quite a ways down the road.
yeah.
I don't think that's right.
The best thing would happen if an individual, which has already happened
You can just dump it on the
multiple
city.
times to buy it, but they refused to sell it before. So,
Trouble is the tanks.
You know,
yep,
It's the tanks that's are gonna be the obstacle
yep,
for anyone.
yep.
But then if it goes back to the bank, will the bank have to take care of that then? Dig those
Yeah.
banks up?
Yeah, and then then the sale will be
Increased because of
increased. Yeah,
that,
the
sure.
number- Right, exactly, you know.
Yeah.
What is that gonna be, 30 grand? Take those tanks out? I don't know.
How much?
That depends on.
30,000? I don't really.
Yeah, I have no idea.
if the ground,
As long as they're still sealed and not leaking, it's not a big deal, but if there's,
But if it is dirty ground, then the super fund kicks in. If the
Yeah.
ground is dirty, then the super fund kicks in and helps clean up, you know. But again, yeah, somebody's gonna have to,
what do they gotta do, dig 10 feet from contaminated ground?
well, they just keep taking it out until it cleans itself up,
You
you know. The worst of it is the cement will be gone and then it'll be growing up in weeds,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a bad thing all the way around.
it's gonna be a long time before it gets that. The roof will probably fall in before it's all.
Well, that's another
Well,
thing.
that's
I
another
mean,
thing.
by not being taken care of and heated, you know, what is gonna happen here?
Yeah, it's gonna be a sore spot for a while, unfortunately,
Yeah.
or potentially a source.
Um,
I mean, if there was anything for Chris to work on, it would be that. Alongside of collecting the money. I mean, place is starting to be a blight,
well,
you know?
I can't imagine what kind of, what aroma is inside because there's stuff in there.
Hopefully they got rid of all the food and perishables, but
You hope,
I hope, yeah.
I mean,
But even coolers that haven't been cleaned out
Yeah,
properly.
the mold is about this thick.
Yeah,
They'll have a clean out crew come up and, you know, clean it out and then they'll put
Mitigation crew come out.
locks on the doors, so. You know, they can't go back up there, cause I don't know if they still have access to it until. Proceedings are, you know. in
I'm
place.
assuming until the bank actually forecloses on it. Or seizes it, they can still go in and out of there as they choose,
I would think so too.
yeah, I still want.
because they still own it.
Yeah.
Technically, they still own it.
Yeah.
I did see in the paper last week that there were. Calling the back taxes, they were so far back. It was in the public notice section, there was a couple of them in Good Thunder. That they had until the end of October, I thought.
Yeah, but a lot of people operate that way. They'll let them keep a grit there and then they'll pay off so much to satisfy some of the debt and then they go again another 5 years.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's
So-
how some people
we'll see
operate.
what happens with that.
Yeah. How many years has their tax not been paid down there, I wonder?
I have no idea.
Just look it up on Beacon
Well, I was
sometimes.
gonna say, yeah, you can look it up and find out.
That building was paid for.
Seems like we did look it up early this year and they were current, so it's probably just
Well,
current.
the building may have been paid for, but they have liens against it. Because I'm assuming that's what it is they have lien, because with all the other,
But you made the comment, a bank is gonna get it.
well, whoever they always get, well, yeah, however that works.
Whoever holds the mortgage,
Yeah,
whether it's a bank or an individual.
he says that he thinks it's been paid for.
I think that building was paid for,
Well, it's in Carrie's name, right?
you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's hers and, isn't it hers and Lynn's?
Well, he just co-signed on the loan. I believe it's all in her, all in her name.
So then, yeah, it could sit there till it went into tax forfeiture, which is 6 or 7 years or whatever. That's
It's
true.
just listed as Dakota Mart LLC. So whoever owns the LLC for Dakota Mart.
It's in Cary's.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about that right now anyway, so.
I mean. That building is, you know, if you went down and somebody offered them 30 grand. They're still, who is gonna be responsible for taking the tanks out? I mean, the owner should be, right? But that's never gonna happen. I mean, is the bank gonna take and do that? And then try to recoup those costs? I think that's what you were saying, Tom, right?
Yeah, they might have to.
Yeah.
I know, but like Scott was saying, there's no bank involved really.
Yeah, because well, we're involved. We have money into that place, the city of Good Thunder.
So if they filed. Yeah, I don't know.
County supposedly washed their hands of it.
You think so?
Well,
Not if
It
we go
was
back.
0.25 from both the city of Good Thunder and. the-
but I think they wrote it off last year, and then when we proceeded, they said they should get some of the cut. If I
We
remember
do the work and they get
correctly.
the cut.
That was for whatever that loan was that they got.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
45 grand.
Yeah.
City was good for part. and then
But the
Blue Earth
city paid Blue Earth County. My understanding was what Blue Earth County had into it, right?
Right.
So they can't, well, I don't know. If they would, if their portion has been paid back, they wouldn't have a stake in it going forward then.
they weren't paid back. They just wanted off their books supposedly.
Yeah, because we gave them the money.
The
We
city of
gave
Good
them
Thunder.
money.
City
paid it
wrote,
because they
city
held
wrote
the loan.
county a check
Yeah,
for like 23,000 or
yeah,
some shit.
that was their half, yeah.
So why do they think that they should get money?
I don't know who says they did.
Well, there was a letter from. Yeah, after the first of the year.
Nothing to worry about tonight.
It's not on the agenda.
Wow. It's gonna be a mess
It's gonna be a mess, yeah.
well, it wouldn't be so bad, but the tanks are gonna be the biggest problem there. Um, The city's already invested in that money. Does the city ever take it upon themselves to try to get them tanks out to make that a piece of sellable property in the city of Good Thunder?
The only way that we could come out on it,
That's right.
that might be the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always said we don't want to have that property, but.
I mean, she should be they should be advertising that place as is, because some town business person might benefit from that, you know, if it's only 30 grand to take out the tanks, maybe it's worth 30 grand, not paying 30 grand plus 30 grand, but
Right.
hey, let me just take this over for you, so you're out of this mess.
Yeah, that
I
would
mean,
be,
she should be advertising that to get herself out of whatever is going to happen, but, because, I mean, I don't know. Thunder Restaurant might want it, or some other Marine might want it, or
Scott might want.
Scott might want it, whatever. I mean, if she advertised something, somebody might be interested in.
I mean, somewhere along the line, somebody's gonna have to pay for getting
Yeah.
that taken out.
Yep.
And,
I mean, that's just the way it's gonna be.
and I guess if I had to guess right now, I guess this entity here is gonna probably be the one. I don't.
I think that's gonna be a long road. We got a long road to haul before we even find that out. That's
Yeah.
my opinion. It's,
Because Southern Minnesota Initiative funds, right? They had some in it, and Region 9, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cause there was them sets of two people here that. And,
Yeah.
I guess Sue, if you can find out who is involved and call those people. And tell them what we're up against. You know,
Maybe we should wait though until we find out what result of this suit is. When we're suing them. The city is suing them.
Yeah.
So we should wait until we find out what's happening.
but he's not progressing very,
Well, we did the discovery. And they didn't do it. They didn't complete it, but another one of their creditors also submitted a discovery. So there was a bench warrant. Because neither one of them had completed it and turned it back in. And that was in July, I think. And then I think they actually did complete the discovery. And that's as far as I've heard since. So I will reach out again to see if Chris has any more updates. And to see if he'll and then find out who all has a stake in that.
yeah,
I mean, you don't wanna be. Putting the cart before the horse here, and then
No.
let's see what.
See where
what
we're at with that.
transpires. Yeah, I
and
mean, if the city's gonna end up buying it anyway, there's no use in suing them and all that kind of stuff, then we might as well just deal with them.
yeah,
you know.
I don't think we wanna buy it.
So,
I don't think so either, but the thing of it is, I think it would just remain at this status it's in forever. That's the worst of it, you know?
Yep.
Nobody's gonna come in and, you know, like Amy said, the best thing is she goes, hey. You can have the building for removing the tanks. Because like you say, nobody's gonna pay 25 grand for the building, pay 35 grand to take the tanks out. If you, one for the other. I don't know if that can happen or not, but
depending upon what they have against it, and liens too, the lien holders may not let that happen.
I know it.
You know, I mean, it's a bad thing. all the way
And
around.
you said that that night. You
I
said
know.
that.
I voted for it too, so.
Yep. Well, we can just keep moving on and see what we can find out. One other thing on our new business, and I don't know why I was thinking about this. Did we, and I know we were talking about it when the auditor's here, did we ever accept that $4,200 PID?
Yes, we did.
That-
We did last month.
Okay, all right.
We did finally.
I just wanted to remember. That's all I got for new business. Anybody else?
Want to do the liquor?
Yeah, that's under miscellaneous. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Renew the liquor and tobacco license for Red Iron and Thunder Bar.
You have everything you,
Everything is with the state. I've gotten everything back from them. I've got the fees paid. And I've mailed it off to the state for the liquor licenses. And once I get those back, I'll do the tobacco licenses and get them out to them.
All right, so that's kind of on hold right
Yep.
now.
Well, it's like I said, once we get it back from it, why should be getting it back here within the next week or two? I just didn't want to know if we wanted to wait until November's meeting. They've already, everything's been, the background checks and everything's been passed.
I mean,
Businesses,
it would be best if we passed on approval tonight.
right. But then as soon as I get them back, I can get them out to them.
Contingent said everything comes back.
Right, yeah, but that's what you guys, that's what you guys have done, yeah.
That's what we did last year.
Right, yeah.
Give them approval, assuming everything is going to come
Yep.
back, contingent upon everything coming
Correct.
back. Okay.
You make that motion then, Tom?
I did.
All right, someone second?
Second.
Only second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I
Aye.
oppose, well, I should probably abstain from this one
Probably
also.
good, yeah.
Yep. Alrighty, Excel franchise ordinance renewal.
So that isn't something that has to be done now. The renewal or the 25-year agreement is due in March of 2025.
All right.
So what she sent me was a copy of the old one and then a copy of the new one. They're basically the same. She did come out here and meet and she said, I had asked her about contingency fees because we get those from Consolidated, but if we're not having phone lines or like DirecTV anymore, are we gonna get those contingency fees? From
Franchise
Consolidated,
fees.
or the franchise fee, sorry. Don't know. I know Amboy was wondering that too.
Would you get it on the
So-
internet service?
Yeah, cause if you try to get pay your bill online to Consolidated now, you can't. It's gone.
You have to go to Fidium.
Yeah.
You have, well, is that if you already switched over to Fidium or if you still have the Consolidated?
If you switched over.
Yeah, correct.
And so, but Fidium really is a wholly owned
It's just
company of
another,
Consolidated.
yeah, it's the same thing.
I mean, eventually you'll be able to just go on the Fidium site,
Mhm.
but that's not up and running yet, so.
So do we, I don't know if the city wants to think about doing a franchise fee for Excel. She did give me a list of some of the cities that do it. I think Eagle Lake, I think there was like 2 or 3 around here. Was it Madison Lake? Some of the smaller ones are like $1. Franchise fee per month per resident. You don't have to. City hasn't done it in 25 years or 20 years, whatever it is.
So what do they do? Just jack the bill up $1?
So they just charge, just like if you looked at your Consolidated bill, you'd have a franchise fee of whatever, and that gets paid directly to the city every quarter. The city gets that to help pay for whatever.
Really, the city wouldn't benefit from a franchise fee, would you? Because they're providing the service and anything that bothers it, they're paying for it or repairing it, right?
Right. It's just a way for. It's kind of a way for the city to make a little extra money to put towards the water tower or roads, infrastructure, whatever.
So it'd be
So-
$1 per household or whatever you
If
choose.
that's what the city wanted,
Yeah.
that was just an example. Some of them are $1.50. I think one of them was actually 50 cents.
Yeah, that's what you had on here.
And that's
So-
monthly?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So,
So,
But we got time to.
but you don't have
Yeah,
to do
we
it now, but I just wanted to put it out there so that you guys had it in the back of your mind. At least for tonight anyway,
all right.
and we'll revisit it later.
And Sue called down to drummers. And they are gonna start.
And they are going to start this, their plan is to start this winter. They've got their plans. They've got everything ready to go.
They got to go ahead to go and all of it.
Yep, and I don't know if they got their funding. He never brought it up. I didn't ask. I just wanted to know where he was with the project, so he just gave me his update and.
I know, there's been a few people that are wondering what was happening, so I'm glad Sue called down there and. So we know, so, it's happening,
Mhm. Good update.
yeah. Truth and taxation meeting will be in the December meeting, right?
That's what, yeah, I got an email to ask when we were having it, so that's why it's on there. Usually, yeah, it's on. It's the first part of the December meeting, which
Yeah,
is,
Yeah, it's beginning of the meeting.
yeah, December 9th.
Yeah,
So if you want to do that, we can set that up and I can get, let you know.
do we need a motion on that?
Yes,
Somebody make a motion to add the truth and taxation meeting December 9th? John made the motion, I'm in a second. All in favor, say aye. 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 Motion carried.
The elections, is there a deadline or you gotta have a meeting for us?
for the elections,
For approval?
that is, that will come in
I thought it was.
Part of the.
November, somewhere between November 13th to the 15th. So we can decide that at the next meeting, whatever. Because that's what I got an email today about.
That first and then go.
That it should be, what is that called? Canvas? Canvas
The
meeting?
canvas of,
Yeah, somewhere between the 13th, 14th and 15th of November, we're gonna need to have that.
we always do that at the regular council meeting too, right? Just before.
Well,
How's that
Long as-
come out?
that's if we get it, but he said not to expect it until the 12th. Well, actually, yeah, the meeting would be the 12th of November.
Yeah.
So we could, and if we don't have it, then you'll have to,
Have another meeting?
you'll have to have a special meeting.
Yeah.
That Thursday or Friday, Wednesday, whatever.
I'm sorry, what was that about?
The
Canvas. of-
canvassing to approve the election results.
Oh, okay.
Just a formality.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, MCFOA,
That, the next one in 2024 is, that's when it's scheduled. Don't know if you guys want me to go to it again.
Yes.
what does that stand for?
Municipal.
Municipal Clerk and Finance Officers Association.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yes, I want you to go.
2025.
Yes.
Somebody want to make a motion then to have Stu attend that from March 18th to the 21st? Coming to second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. We have a thing in here for clerk, mileage. Don't have the figure right now.
Here, you'll have to sign this one anyway.
Somebody make a motion to approve, mileage for the clerk.
I'll make a motion. Reentries.
Somebody the second?
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Halloween daycare.
So I haven't been approached yet, but last year you guys, we did little treat bags for the Halloween for the daycare kids. I have most of it already. The only thing I don't have is candy, so I don't know if council wants to do that again. Just pick up a bag of candy and I'll just put little bags together again,
Yep,
if they approach.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they will,
I'm sure they will.
so.
do you do it for,
Would just be the bag of candy, because I have everything else left.
do you have candy for other trick or treaters or?
I didn't get any other ones in for last year,
Okay.
no. I mean, I'll definitely, well, they come in a bag, so I would have whatever's left, and then. Grace comes in trick or treating every day, so. Yeah, so it's John,
But I don't do it every day.
he's a frequent.
Frequent trick or treater.
More people would come.
I had the good stuff, I buy what I want,
Mhm.
that's probably what I shouldn't do,
Eat bars.
no.
So do we need
Reese's?
a motion to
Yeah.
allow Sue to
Yep.
go down and buy a bag of candy for Halloween? Somebody make that motion? Someone second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. All right, anything else from anybody else?
The only other thing I had was, there was something in your packets about the information from Representative Olson. Cause I had emailed him after that and asked him for a few clarifications. So it doesn't sound like we actually have to give him a minimum. Of what we're willing, it sounded like,
He'll-
once he got to that point, he would say, we only can get you 5 million, are you okay with that, or that type of thing? So
That's,
that's kind of my understanding when I got it. And the other question, I just came up with this, or I just spotted that Minnesota Rural Water has a program November 13th, I think it is. It's in St. Cloud, and it's all about how to apply for funding and how to do the applications. And I'm kind of interested in going to it. It's free. But that way, if we do have to get some more money for funding, at least then I'll have a little, hopefully I'll have some insight and some contacts. If council's okay with me going to that.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
The
It'd
one
be a bad
day,
idea for somebody from the council to go with it as well.
the one day
just saying.
deal or?
Yeah, it's just one day.
When is it?
Oh, God, I think it was November 13th. 13th or 14th,
Month from now, then.
yeah. I think it was the 14th, actually.
If you need somebody to go, I can probably work that in my busy
Just
schedule.
that I've got the flyer too, so stop in and I'll let you read the flyer.
Somebody want to make a motion to allow Sue and maybe one council person to go to St. Cloud, you said?
Yep,
Where was it again?
St. Cloud, one of the hotels in St. Cloud.
Yeah.
I know, yes. Should just go grab it, it's right over there.
Oh, that's fine.
Right downtown.
Yeah, so where the conference was last year.
Yeah.
This year, the conference is in, gosh, where's it? It's in St. Paul where that, oh shoot, I graduated college from it. Brown Heritage Center or something, Earl Brown Heritage Center. So it's closer, it's like an hour and 20 minutes versus 2.5 hours.
Oh, somebody want to make a motion then to have Sue and maybe some other individual to attend?
So move.
Someone second,
Second,
all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, no carried. Anything else then? As far as starting to drill a new well, we can't do anything there either now then until we hear from the state or Bourne Olson, right?
right.
Because, you know, yeah, I read that letter, you know, and yeah, we have another well, but there's not much capability to get much water out of it, you know?
Right.
And I mean, will we know this by next spring?
Yes.
Don't say bonding bill come through in the spring, isn't it?
Well, they meet back up in, isn't it January they start going up again? Or was it
Yeah,
December?
I think it's January, I
Yeah.
think.
But I think all that business is left because by then the contractors all start writing in on bidding on process there
Yeah.
in what, February, March, April?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, we would know within a few months now.
Mhm.
I would think, yeah.
And with that said, if we had to trim that, what will we ever trim? You know, say we got half of that, what would be the most value for our dollar?
Well. Where did I read,
I think it was broke down, wasn't it?
just read that somewhere.
That Bolton and Mink letter that they suggested. Do the
Yes,
pump.
others,
this, the seven on that
Update. you know.
That's the rest of holiday, the looping and all that, that would go. Then if they don't say, you know, they only want to give us 6 million, that's 7 million, then we'd have to be looking at funding,
Yeah. Mhm.
either,
But again, then Sue and whoever goes up there and that would be where that meeting would come in
That's where we
handy,
would, yeah, we would know how to,
tackle that.
yep.
Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
probably with assistance tackle.
Well, right, but yeah, because right now, if you told me to do that, I wouldn't have a clue. I, absolutely nothing.
Well, it sounds good. Anybody else with anything then? If not. Somebody make a motion to
What
adjourn?
do we?
What?
What do we need to do with that? Is that ever still? We still talking about that? or-
That was next year's project, is to open that all up.
Yeah,
That's what you guys talked about.
Because of
last year.
budget, a budget for it, kind of was it?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, really,
To me, it's
there
not.
should be something done with it, right?
yeah, I mean, it's just wait,
Dead air.
it's a waste of taxpayer money,
Yep.
Mhm.
that's all it is. We might as well be utilizing the room and have the room for more people
Yeah.
and maybe have more gatherings in here or something, you know?
I have had people comment and ask how big this place is, and it's not big enough for some of the needs that I've,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, oh, it would be nice.
I wonder if Drummer will open that up down there as a community center area in that gym area where people could,
Wasn't that part of the deal?
well, that's, yeah, but has that all changed? Is that still the part of
He,
it?
he still wants, last I heard him say was he still wants to do a community private partnership sort of a thing there. But
He wants a city to not maintain schedule or something.
yeah, I'm gathering that he wants more than just say, yeah, you know. You can have people, you know, I'll have a spot, you know, the rent will be this much. You know,
Okay, yeah.
And then city maintenance afterwards or something.
Yeah, and I think there's maybe a little changing going on there from what he was saying here that night. But then again, let's just let that develop and see what happens. But
Yeah.
that's immaterial to this project,
Right, this just needs to
This
be
has gotta be-
utilized.
you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be confounded there.
Mm.
This is just a underutilization of space.
That overhead door needs to come out and be filled in like this, and that wall just needs to go to the south and build another wall right through there and use that same door to enter that area, right?
Yeah.
Or a wall, I mean, so we have a little storage yet,
Yeah,
unless we don't need that storage area.
and there's nothing wrong with having storage.
No, we're
here.
gonna need it. If you gone in there and looked at that lately, yeah, you're gonna need it, or there's gonna be a lot of purging going on.
How about the books? I mean, we've dealt with that issue before too, and
There they are.
yep,
No idea.
has there been much use for the books?
I do have one, there's been two older ladies that come in and get books for their grandchildren. And then they kind of bring them back and kind of come and go, and
Mhm.
I don't know. As far as I know, there's not a checkout system that I was ever aware of, so they just kind of,
I never had.
And I mean, that bookcase could just go to the south wall.
there's a bookcase over there.
With books too.
Yeah.
books.
Boxes full of books, and there's
Yeah.
books piled on tables, and there's
Yeah,
That's all from, I think, the school.
a lot of it. You can tell which ones are from the school because they're the ones that are still brand new because nobody ever read them.
I mean, I still think that we ought to take and fill that dumpster out here half full of books every week until you get them down.
wasn't there something on Facebook about when we mentioned this before, how terrible that was, that there was an outlet? Wasn't there one of them people talking about, I can get rid of them books and I
Yep.
can't? Yeah, you
Yep.
remember who that was?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Wasn't Tim Stromer one of them?
No, he was talking about,
Somebody
that
was,
book fair in Faribault where they just ended up throwing a bunch of them into the
Oh.
dumpster. That's what he was talking.
somebody was talking about them for a school. Taking them for a school or something, or for some community center, I don't even know.
Can you put it on the
Put them
good,
kids Halloween bag.
can you put it on the Good Thunder City website that, you know?
Do we wanna go down that road again?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we go down that road again, I can tell you what's gonna happen.
You're just gonna get the same people that aren't gonna do anything anyway. You're
Correct.
gonna holler and scream.
Just dealing with the
Uh,
food shelf feeling.
But there might be
Right.
somebody out there might have an outlet.
I doubt it, cause even schools now, everything's so much
The
iPad.
sad part is, and which is what I think is really sad, is people aren't reading books anymore.
No.
They're doing it online, and I mean, I'm still somebody who reads books.
I've got
But-
5,000 books right there,
See,
right.
and I can't do
right
it,
in
yeah,
this machine,
Yeah.
that's it,
you know? I don't need all that.
so.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
the problem.
maybe like Tom said, over the course of the winter, some of them might have to go into the recycling and just.
Start with the other room and just
And
get rid of them. Otherwise, we're gonna end up paying to get rid of them.
Yep.
You're gonna throw them in the truck and you're gonna have to haul them down to the landfill and get rid of them that way.
Anna Stencil, she one of them that had a place for them books?
I don't know if she had a place for them or not.
I just saw that. Well, anyhow,
We've been looking at them, we've been looking at those for 30 years.
Well,
And I bet you half of them are the same one.
And I'm okay with maybe, but I think we should, I kind of like this out here, because like I said, there are some people that do come in and get books for their grandkids out of here.
yeah, that's,
store that I go to all the time, my wife drags me around, down in lower North Mankato it was the old Harley Davidson, now it's.
oh, yeah.
They've got a whole book section in there and people buy books there all the time. You could donate them to them and,
Yeah,
yeah. Cause my wife goes through that book room every time and picks out a couple.
well, tell her to come up here,
Oh,
take about 14 dozen.
But, that might be an option if, to donate them there.
Yeah.
Could be,
Mhm.
but I bet we'll still be looking at them and you guys will still be looking at them next year to don't get rid of them.
Mhm.
Yep,
Well,
Well-
give it another week and I'm sure we'll hear something.
yep. Okay, that being said, no more business. Somebody make a motion to adjourn? I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'm in a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye opposed, motion carries.